We are live.
We are live.
We are live.
Did I say welcome to the main event?
Run that thing, bro. You mad?
Oh, man.
Behave before you talk about what I'm talking about, yeah?
Disclaimer.
Run that thing back. Nah, man, stay there in your corner, man. Run that thing back, fam. I don't want to hear nothing from you.
We are live, as I'm saying, Mr. Blitztech.
Revenue GS.
J, 1/3 of the Cybernuts.
And welcome to the Werewolf by Night discussion. If you haven't already, make sure you're heading over to our patreon.com/the Cybernuts. We can watch this with us. It's actually kind of a marvel if you haven't known already, but we're going to discuss that today. Guys, what are you saying?
Hey, what's good, fam? If you enjoyed this video, check out our TCN community where you will get private Discord access to join us in chatting about all things movies and trailers, participating in our debates, and even submit your requests on which ones we watch. You also get access to our full movies, animes, and series reactions, so don't miss out. The link to join the community will be pinned comment.
Pleasant surprise from Marvel. After the past few weeks of madness we've been having with their shows, did not expect it. Really love the way it was shot in black and white. Obviously, that whole feel of what am I thinking of? I'm thinking of
Sin City.
Sin City, but also Van Helsing as well. The movie that I watched that movie a couple of years back as well. So man, the movie's super legit, man. I really like what they did with the movie.
Yeah, man, I thought it was sick as well, man. I love that they decided to really introduce monsters into the MCU in such a stylistic fashion. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, where like Marvel have been getting a lot of stick for is everything being very similar, everything looking the same, sounding the same, feeling the same, and this feels distinctively different. I like that the noir take on it. I think it's super legit. Even the fact that like they run it with like the film cigarette burns in the corner to make you feel like it's a real old school monster movie, like how they used to do it back in the day. I think that was fire as well. And then I think the characters that they've thrown out here are sick too.
Oh yeah. Speaking of that old school feel, it's like there's a mixture of that old school feel, but at the same time, like whenever it came to like cinematography, it's like updated. But then every now and again they threw in. It's almost like they threw in like old shots, like action wise. So like I thought they were like super slick with that stuff as well.
Yeah, I think even with that, it's funny because Man Thing looks so legit, but then I feel like the werewolf doesn't, but at the same time, it looks like a werewolf that was from like the 70s or something, and how they would do it, and I feel like it translates very well. Like it was like for a second I was like, raw, that does, but it when you add that with it being black and white, the way everything else is moving and the way it's shot, like it all just gives it its own distinctive feel. That's what I really rate about it.
Like, I know that's what I was about to say as well. Like the look and the feel of this whole production, it doesn't really feel even like a superhero movie or show or whatever. It just feels like it's a monster movie shot back day when, where like you said, it's got that whole full grain black and white kind of look to it. And then when I saw the werewolf, I was like,
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it felt like it was meant to be back in the day.
Yeah.
Even with the shots they were using, maybe they even knew the werewolf's not meant to look that great. So we're also going to just make it look like you're never going to actually see it fully.
Yeah,
Right.
that's why I love the black and white as well, because I feel like the black and white almost hides things that we would nitpick at if it was in color.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like it makes sense for this. And my only concern is that like obviously at the end it goes into color. Like from here on out, will it always be in color? Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's my question here, because I feel like the black and white really fits here, and I love the inclusion of the monsters and just saying like, yo, there's more monsters out here, and even we've got two monsters here that already team up with each other, and they've made an alliance with another character, the Elsa Bloodstone character, who is like a monster hunter from a monster hunter bloodline. Just that allegiance, like we're halfway to an Avengers team already. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that was sick. Like,
I even like the fact that if you just showed it to someone, you cut off the intro of Marvel, it just felt like a very good production.
Yeah, it just
like,
is what it is.
Yeah, it just feels like a very just short movie. And that's what I like about it the most. To be honest, like, it just feels like, Man Thing's in here, it's got werewolves, it's got hunters. Even the fact that it's kind of got, obviously, I'm not, like, you don't have to have, but the fact it's got like blood and gore in it as well. Not gore, but like, it doesn't hide the fact that there's blood in this thing. It doesn't hide the fact that arms and legs can get chopped off. It doesn't hide the fact that, boy,
And
this is fucking getting bashed up.
Which was a natural
Kind of
thing
bad.
back in the day. Like, you lose a limb here or there.
Yeah.
Because that was the horror feel from back then. Do you know what I'm saying? So this is like, it's well balanced the way they've done it, because like, we can't go too old school because it'll pull people out. And you can't go too modern because then the feel will just be like off key kind of thing. Do you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
like,
I'm interested to see where the direction goes from here, just in terms of that stuff with the gore, because it's like, if it does go into color, I feel like it's harder for them to get away with that kind of gore, chopping off arms and limbs and stuff like that. Stuff that I think that this series needs and should definitely like have. Well, I say series, I don't know if it's a series, I know it's a special, but if they do more, I think this world definitely needs to be on that, yo, heads come off, arms come off, legs come off, we're going in. But yeah, man.
for sure, man.
And even for me, like after watching this, because I'm usually like going to the aspect of, if I see a Marvel production, I'm like, I wonder how it ties into hair and this and that, if I'm seeing anything. But now after watching this, I'm like, I just want things to be good. I just want to watch this thing and see how good this is. And if it does tie into anything else, if it does lead into anything else, obviously we know Man-Thing's in Marvel, but if he's not ever mentioned by She-Hulk or Daredevil or even Blade, at this point we're even going to see, man, we don't know. But if it is just a standalone thing and it's just over there, I'm like, cool.
Yeah, no,
I'm
for sure,
actually fine with that, to be honest.
I think where Marvel's at, it's like they need to do that. And this is why, like, time ago, I was always against X-Men coming into the MCU, because there's too much stuff going on already for you to then add a whole new race of people. Do you know what I'm saying? So with this, like, I like things that are in the MCU but don't connect with the MCU in any day-to-day fashion. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if there's a news report that there was an alien invasion, I'm cool with that. Do you know what I'm saying? But I don't need, like, Ironheart showing up, you know what I'm saying, at any point to do anything, or cameoing with She-Hulk, or, like, there's just no need for that. And I feel like they've set an aesthetic and a tone to just this to be what it is, and I think that's what they should do. And I hope that this does lead into, like, this doesn't make me feel better about Blade, because I feel like Blade should go harder than this did. But if this is the tone, it's an alright tone, do you know what I'm saying, to go with in terms of like the monster stuff and the monster universe. I really want to see how it fleshed out, and I really want to see more of the Elsa Bloodstone character, because it's like, it's funny because they're bringing her into the episode, and it's like, oh, you've been absent for time. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're learning who she is as like the people, do you know what I'm saying, who she's coming into contact with is now. And I love the way that she was just picking up weapons and going with it. So I wanna see where that goes.
Yeah, definitely feel like they should just keep this universe to itself. You know what I was thinking of as well? League of the Extraordinary Gentlemen. Kind of like create your own separate world with that kind of stuff. You know, like got different characters coming through. Obviously over here we had different people on the hunt. They get murked. Obviously she's making an alliance with these other two monsters. So it's like, if we create that whole world separately, that would be super legit, and we can stay there without having to tie up with anything else.
Yeah, I think after seeing this, I don't mind if there was, like, let's say, pockets of universes, and maybe a character steps in here and there. So obviously we've got the mutants.
If it's done properly.
That's what I'm saying. If it's done properly,
You see
because
what
I feel
they
like
did there,
this is what my conclusion has come to. Because obviously this by itself is legit.
Yeah.
But if we see Man-Thing, even if it's mentioned, or him just by himself and he's in a cameo, I wouldn't mind that, as long as he's like, oh, Man-Thing is in this universe, but not an everyday thing.
Gotcha.
Again, if they start mentioning magic, or no, not magic, what's everything that they're kind of alluding to?
Oh, man.
It's on the... Anyway, something like that. Maybe like mutants. We see Wolverine, obviously now with Deadpool. If he's the only one marginally stepping in, cameoing with maybe the Avengers one time, and then you have the mutants over there, and they're having their own wars, I don't mind that. What's the island they go on? That Utopia Island thing. That's their own
the one Magneto creates.
Yeah. So it's got, I know it's on too much song as well, but
Yeah.
imagine that our MCU be like, we don't mess with their man's beef because they're mutants. But we see Wolverine come over here because Wolverine's Wolverine. I'd rather that.
From what man's seen, bruv, they're not capable of doing that, fam. So I'm not even gonna, bruv,
I'll
stay
just-
away.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my wish list. But we know these men will be like, we're doing this and then we're gonna mash it up But I would only like going forward if you're gonna do that, like do it with some kind of care.
From watching Agents of Shield, it just makes me, and Agents of Shield and even the Netflix Marvel shows, bruv, just we don't need it, bruv. Just don't need, like, you don't need the characters coming over at all for me, basically. Like, get me? If you're gonna do it, like even like, and this is why I bring up Blade, because Blade's not in anything else that we've seen with the MCU. So him popping up here and having his own movie and then continuing his own movie line that's got nothing to do with the other MCU but interjects with this world, I'm cool with. But like, I don't want Blade to be an Avenger. I don't want the Avengers to talk about Blade. Nah, bruv. Just leave man alone. Let them lot do their thing over there and keep the MCU in a sacred timeline where it's at, fam. That's where I'm at now, you get me? I don't want no man cameoing in nothing. Like, get me?
Can you imagine Blade and She-Hulk as in the Avenger team?
Oh, my lord. Well, as long as it's not the writers of them, man. Then
bro, that thing would be mad, bro.
It's crazy.
Absolute
But guys,
bonkers.
what are you rating this little production we've got here today?
I'm giving it a 3.5, you know? I feel like it's good. I enjoyed it. I thought it was, yeah, man, it's good, bruv. Like, I want to see more, like.
Oh, man. I'm actually between 3.5 and a 4. I'm going for 3.5. I'm going for the 3.5. Also, fair to mention, really surprised to see that Michael Giacchino directed this. Multi-talent people out there, you know, it's mad. But yeah, man, really like this stuff.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3.5 as well. I think it's solid on the cinematography. They use black and white super well, and then a dash of color until like the end. Also, I feel like the characters were like really intriguing. Some of the hunters were like, meh. Some of the hunters were like, okay. And yeah, even the score, obviously man directed and then did the score, so it was just a good mismatch of everything.
Yeah, the shots were crazy.
That's it. So
the shots, the use of shadow, yo, that stuff was mad.
That's it.
Like, he killed with that.
Oh, bro, and they had not a hallway scene, but they had they had something similar to the hallway scene. I love that. Just the fact that they had the blood splatting on the camera and not just one time, like 2 or 3 times. I love that. I even think like stylistically, I know they went hard with it on that one shot, but if that was something that ran through the series, I would enjoy that as well. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just doing different things than what we're usually going to see in regular Marvel stuff, I'm here for, you get me?
That's it. So, solid 3.5, guys. Let us know in the comments down below. What do you think of this little production here, Werewolf by Night? Would you like to see more? Would you think the MCU should be in pockets? What do you think of Man-Thing, Werewolf, also Bloodstone? If you've got any history for us, comments down below. And yeah, the full thing's on patreon.com/theCyberNerds. And we'll see you on the next one. I'm Sam, Mr. Blitztech.
Revenue GS.
J1 further the Cyber Nerds.
Peace.